let's do this. I wish I had like a, what's it called? Side table thing, shelf, whatever, to put this water. Sadly, I don't. So we're just going to pray that we don't spill it on the couch. And yeah, just hope for the best. But, back in studio, vibing out on this Friday. So let me get all my ducks in a row really quick. Will you check and see if my wallet is in the car? Yeah, I got you. Cool. All right, so I got my shit to talk about. But without further ado, welcome back to episode 29 of the Mackin Show. Cue claps that after 29 episodes, I still have not learned to edit in yet, but 29 episodes, crazy. Same format. You got a single solo episode today. Don't have a guest. Getting guests is a little harder than I may have thought, because I didn't think it was easy. Didn't think getting a guest was easy, but I want cool guests, people, like, obviously, like, once this podcast gets big, then I'm gonna have all my friends and my boys and shit like that, because then, like, it'd be a cool ass platform to talk about cool shit. But while we're building it, like, I want to get cool, interesting, like, guests, people to talk about and shit, and it's not as easy as I thought. Cold outreach, trying. We're going the Bobby Altoff way of DMing people. Trust me. But no, we're going to get guests. And, the 10, 100, 200, whoever is watching just the solo episodes of me shoot the shit, bullshit around. Shout out to you. Love you. But no, we're here. Episode 29, Friday. It's a good Friday. I'm not going to lie. Everyone's gone right now. Like, half of everyone is in Milan for Fashion Week. More people are on the East Coast right now. So it wasn't really like that hectic of a Friday. We got some hectic shit coming up. We're going to be going to New York soon, so I'll talk about that a little bit. But no, it's been a minute. It's been, since I checked, like 11 days since the last podcast. So it's been a little while. Now, that hasn't been for no reason. So we shot episode 28. Boom, boom, boom. All good. Super Bowl happened. And the day after the Super Bowl, we went to Vegas for work because there was a big trade show. We had to be there. So we were in Vegas for 4 days. And that was like 4 of those days. And the day we got back from Vegas, it felt like we got infected with the plague. It was crazy. Like, I was dealing with my ears ringing and shit, and like that was annoying. Whatever. We get back from Vegas. I have not felt that sick in I don't know how long. And we went to urgent care, got tested for COVID, nothing. Tested for the flu, nothing. RSV, like this mysterious illness that was the worst. Like, I was throwing up. Body felt like my bones were made of paper. I was sore when I didn't even work out. Like, headaches, fever, cold sweats. Like, it was ridiculous. Like, every symptom known to man, coughing, running, everything, like truthfully every symptom. And it wasn't COVID. It wasn't the flu. Like, I have no clue what it was. Me and Emma had 2 completely different like symptoms at each time. Like, I was going through this. She was going, like, made no sense, but killed us. We were down for another 4 days, and that was hell. And it was literally just like 4 days ago that we finally got back to, like, I didn't eat a real meal for 5 days. I literally 5 days in a row, only once a day, I ordered Panera bread, chicken noodle soup with a baguette. I'd take one look at the baguette and be like, yuck. And I would try to eat the chicken noodle soup and could literally only eat like 5 spoonfuls of broth. It was hell. It was so bad. But we're better now. We're good now. But that was, a little bit of the reason for the absence. But we're back in this episode 29, and there's a good amount that we missed. I was obviously going to do an episode days ago, talk about Super Bowl, Vegas, and just everything else in between, but I was on my deathbed, so I couldn't. So we'll recap the Super Bowl really quick. obviously the Chiefs won. If you didn't think the Chiefs were going to win, I don't know what to tell you. 49ers, obviously, number one ranked team. They're obviously a phenomenal football team, but they made a critical error. Game went into overtime. They didn't understand the new overtime rules, and they elected that they wanted the ball first because old overtime rules were just whoever scored first. Field goals didn't count with that. It was just whoever scored the first touchdown. And they didn't know that, if you score, the other team also gets the ball. And sadly, 49ers didn't score. Pat Mahomes did what Pat Mahomes does. Drove down the field. Super Bowl, baby. And so Chiefs won the Super Bowl. Obviously, no doubt about that. Perfect ending to the perfect love story also. That is Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. Because let me just say, the Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce saga is one for the history books. Because obviously they start dating, it goes crazy. She becomes an NFL fan, goes crazy. Like, new viewership, $300 million worth of marketing money into the NFL, crazy. Boom, Grammys comes on. She goes to the Grammys, wins like 2 or 3, sets the record for the most best album wins of all time. Fast forward like 6 days after that, Super Bowl. Obviously, Travis Kelce said, I promise I'm going to come home with some hardware myself. And he did. And they kissed on the field right at the 50-yard line. It was magical. And what a storybook ending of a year for Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. It was insane. You knew it was going to happen, but it was still insane. So no, that was the Super Bowl. And honestly, the best thing that happened during Super Bowl weekend wasn't the Super Bowl. It was Jason Kelce afterwards. And because obviously Super Bowl happened, Super Bowl team, everyone goes out for after party at the Wynn or Resorts World, wherever. And, they go to a club and just the whole team's clubbing it out and everything. And Travis Kelce just stole the show. That man, that's America's sweetheart right there, is Travis Kelce. That you need to protect that man at all costs, because there was like videos of them coming into the club and Taylor and Travis are walking hand in hand, all cute. And then like 2 seconds goes by and you see Jason walking behind them and just stumbling and just like obliterated, completely obliterated. And fast forward, you go in the club. Somehow he found a luchador mask from like Nacho Libre, and he has that on the rest of the night. He's fist pounding, he's dancing. Like it was amazing. I'm a huge Jason Kelce guy. I've always liked Jason Kelce, but just like obviously now it's just like super funny, and like the memes of him meeting Ice Spice for the first time, him being fucked up. It was just awesome. And I definitely think this won't be the last time we see a Super Bowl in Las Vegas, just because the whole week leading up to the Super Bowl and then the Super Bowl like just felt like this crazy moment of like every celebrity known to man in Vegas. Everyone's at their own specific. Some are at the Wynn, some are at the Aria, some Resorts World, some Venetian, like whatever it may be. And I don't think Vegas has ever seen like star power that was the Super Bowl in Vegas, because everybody was there. And it probably did Vegas so well. So they're definitely going to have it in Vegas again. They're doing it in New Orleans next year, but they're definitely going to go back to Vegas. And obviously what a lot of people were excited about too was the halftime show with Mr. Usher Raymond. And when it comes to Usher, that's just not my demographic. That's not my cup of, like, I know who Usher is. I know he's huge. I like the song Yeah and OMG, like, but he was just like a little bit before my time of like coming out with hits and shit. So I'm like, it didn't really resonate with me. And we were at a Super Bowl party and everybody was just singing along to all this shit. I was like, I don't know any of these songs. He brought out some power though. He brought out will.i.am, Ludacris, Jermaine Dupri, Alicia Keys. It was cool. Obviously, I was one of the people that were waiting for Bieber. I really thought Justin was going to come out during the halftime show. Everything pointed to Justin coming out during the halftime show, from internet sleuths finding out that his vocal coach and his choreographer were both in Las Vegas. Why would they be in Las Vegas? Like, what's both of that? Like, too coincidental. And then reports came out that Justin had a dressing room at Allegiant Stadium. So it was like, okay, he's definitely performing at the halftime show. And then it came out that he just didn't want to do it. Kind of badass, honestly. someone's like, yo, you want to perform the Super Bowl? Nah, I'm just going to watch. Like, that's so badass. So Justin did not perform at the Super Bowl. I do think we'll get a halftime performance by him at some point later on, but at some point. But yeah, people love the Usher shit. Next year, I'm praying that we got some Lil Wayne and Young Money at the halftime show because it's in New Orleans next year. Lil Wayne has already expressed that he would love to do the Super Bowl halftime show. Obviously, that's in the power of, I don't know, Fox, the NFL, like whoever else has a say in it. But I would love to see Lil Wayne at the halftime show. That would definitely be more my speed. But yeah, that was the Super Bowl, and that was a good time to watch. It really was. It was boring because it was one of the first times I didn't have a clear team I was rooting for. I didn't give a fuck. I was like, yeah, 49ers, cool. Chiefs, cool. I was more in it because, like, it was the wives of the team year, like, straight up. Like, you had Kristen Juszczyk, I always butcher their last name, I'm sorry, who's just been killing it with the designs. You have Olivia Culpo, who's Olivia Culpo. You got Taylor Swift, who's Taylor Swift. You got Brittany Mahomes. Like, it was a wives Super Bowl type of thing, and I just kind of thought that was badass. So, well, Taylor Swift's not a wives, but you know what I mean, a significant other Super Bowl. But no, Super Bowl was super cool. I'm trying to think, like, what else was going on. Oh my God. So one of the things that took the internet, or at least the TikTok world, by storm was the People's Choice Awards. And so People's Choice Awards came out. I didn't really watch it because I don't really care about that award show. It's just like, cool. I'm more of a Grammys, Oscars, Golden Globes type of guy. But People's Choice came out. Award show went great. Came out afterwards a clip of Billie Eilish talking. I don't know who she was talking to, but a clip of Billie Eilish came out afterwards where you see her talking to someone and she mentions the word TikToker and kind of like point somewhere and then make some type of face. And the TikTok world just blew the fuck up. Like, every influencer is like, oh my God, she's talking about TikTokers. Why? Like, what would it matter? Blah, 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 this and that. First off, I feel like you got to realize there's a level of shit here. Like, that's Billie Eilish. Like, yeah, if she's at like a traditional award show and she's like, why the fuck are all these TikTokers here? Cool. Cool with me. It's Billie Eilish. Like, Grammy winner, Oscar winner, like, crazy. But then again, like, no one other than who she was talking to knows what she said. Like, it was just her saying the word TikToker, pointing to like behind her and shit. Like, you don't know if she was saying like, why are there TikTokers here? Like, there should, like, she wasn't saying any of that shit. You just heard her saying TikToker. Like, what if she was just like, that TikToker over there was hot? Like, who knows? But then more clips came out of like, not your usual like bigger, not your Brianna Chicken Fries, Bryce Halls, Josh, not those, but just like other TikTokers of like, one dude went up to America Ferrera and was just like, gay son or thought daughter. And then other people were just annoying people. Cause like, obviously as a TikToker, if People's Choice invites you, you have deliverables. You have to make videos. You have to, like, that's part of the deal of like you being able to come to People's Choice. Now, I don't think People's Choice was like, yo, go ask America Ferrera, like, gay son or thought daughter. Not that type of content. So I think it just blows down to some of them are really fucking annoying. Like, plain and simple. And I'm sure some of them probably annoyed Billie Eilish into making a video. And like, that's just not her vibe. Like, she's never been in videos and shit like that. Like, so I'm on Billie's side. Who gives a fuck? Like, it's really not that big of a deal. I just thought it was funny, but that took the world by storm. So shout out Billie Eilish, honestly. Maybe, you know, don't try to make dumbass videos when, like, don't burn that bridge or just like make shit weird with someone like Billie Eilish. Maybe just do it with your fellow influencer. Some shit like that. But that was People's Choice with Billie. Another thing that's been taking over the internet in like over the past 2 or 3 days is Miss Peaches. Miss Peaches has taken over the internet. My For You page, my Explorer page. I can't get enough of Miss Peaches. Hello, Miss Peaches. It's just in my head. Every time I hear hello, Miss Peaches, and I hear the dog voice, I'm just here for it. And what I mean, if for those of you who don't know, is Dave Portnoy rescued a dog, beautiful 6-year-old pit bull female, named Miss Peaches. And instantly, social media latched onto that and was like, we fucking love this. We are here for this. And rightfully so. Miss Peaches is a star. not even in the making. She's just a star already. She gets it. She went from rags to riches. She went from the kennel to the private jet, and she's living her best life right now. And we're just all here for it. And she's got Go-Yard Bulls. She's got $500 worth of toys. She's at a mansion in Miami, and I could not be happier for Miss Peaches. I want to be Miss Peaches' social media manager. I would gladly apply for that job. Miss Peaches is queen shit. And it's funny because I saw someone else bringing it up that it's crazy. What a great PR move, like an unintentional PR move. Like, obviously it's not why he did it, because Dave Portnoy's never given a fuck if someone has liked him or not, other than maybe Taylor Swift. But there's so many comments under the Miss Peaches post or Dave's post where they're like, shit, like, I didn't like Dave. I kind of like Dave now. People battling their inner emotions of like, shit, I kind of like Dave Portnoy now because of Miss Peaches. And that just shows that Miss Peaches is even bigger than emotions. And dogs in general can absolutely change everything. It can change people's minds like that. Like, I'm the same way. Like, if I meet someone and I fuck with them for a little bit, I'm like, oh, cool. If I find out you don't like dogs, I'm like, what? Like, unless you're deathly allergic, which in that case, grow up. But unless you're deathly allergic, why? Yeah, I'm going to judge you if you don't like dogs. And, you know, Miss Peaches obviously gave Dave a new fan base, and everybody's here for Miss Peaches. I want to see more of Miss Peaches content. So she has just been taking over the internet, and I'm here for it. So shout out Miss Peaches. She's been killing it. I'm trying to think Beyonce goes country. Beyonce came out with a song called Texas Hold'em, country song. She's the first black woman to ever chart with a country song. And doesn't surprise me. It's Beyonce. Star. Amazing, just talent in general. And the song is super, like, this ain't Texas, so don't hold 'em. So, wait, is that I thought that camera was moving with me. Anywho, so, no, she came out with a country song and decided, you know what, I'm just going to chart on country music. And it's crazy that, and maybe there just hasn't been that many, like, that are country, but it's crazy that a black woman has never charted as a country star. And then again, like, I don't know if I know of any female black country artists. I really don't. Like, obviously, like, they're out there, but I don't know, because I'm not a country fan. So again, like, I couldn't name you 5 female country artists, truthfully. So it's like, there might be, and I just don't know. But no, Beyonce makes history and becomes the first black woman to chart with country songs. And God knows where she's going to go next. Her producer, A&R, someone said that her album coming up is going to, like, shock the world. So who knows who she's going to have on it? Not sure, but I'm here for it. And then also in country, I guess Post Malone is coming out with a song with Luke Bryan. And first off, Luke Bryan, I'm sorry I was not familiar with your game. His Grammys performance was fucking insane. That dude's voice is ridiculous. I'm going to have to start listening to a little more Luke Bryan because, wow, I keep saying Luke Bryan, Luke Combs. I'm just going to go back so I can clip it anyways. Post Malone is coming out with a song with Luke Combs. And Luke Combs, I was not familiar with your game. And I apologize for getting your name wrong. Your Grammys performance was phenomenal. And I feel like Post Malone collabing with country artists is such a good move. Because, like, he doesn't have, like, a country, like, that's not his main thing as a country sound, but he can definitely do it. So I think that's kind of genius for him to, like, go with collabing with country sounds and shit. So I'm here for that. Another collab that was just posted is Noah Kahan and Olivia Rodrigo. Very long overdue, because Olivia, it was like probably 3-4 months ago, maybe not that long, covered Stick Season by Noah Kahan. It was great. They made their connection right there. And they both posted something that it's called Stick Season / Lucy. So I don't know if this is just going to be a remix of Stick Season or if it's that and then a whole nother song. I don't know, but I'm here for it because Noah Kahan has definitely jumped the gun as, like, one of my favorite people to listen to. And obviously, how can you not like Olivia Rodrigo? So I'm here for that collab. That one's going to be sick. So no, I'm excited to see where that one goes. I'm I'm trying to think. Oh, like I saw I think it was Dumois that posted about it, that like some of her friends are like concerned for her and stuff like that. But I feel like something's up with Selena Gomez. I talked about this a couple episodes ago where Selena Gomez keeps deleting social media and then re-adding it the next day after like posting like, I'm done with social media for a while, I'm off this. And she's been doing that all the time. And then I feel like she's trying to like not over promote, but just like make up for some shit with her relationship with Benny Blanco. Like she comments back to everything. The comments are all just like, this is my heart. Like you guys, blah. And like, she's making it seem like she came out with comments like, you guys wouldn't understand. Like, I just want to be blah, 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 before anybody even knew she was dating Benny Blanco. So it seems like, what are you trying to make up for? Like, no one was talking shit about your relationship. And I mean, Benny's cool and funny. So like, I just didn't see like what need there would have to be for like just overdoing it on that one. But she has been like, she comes back on everything, very passionate about shit. Like, you know, like, I don't know. Selena Gomez seems off lately. We need to figure out what's going on with Selena Gomez, because got to protect Selena Gomez as well. Selena Gomez. But yeah, I've just been seeing that shit. And I was like, fuck is up with this? I haven't talked about it yet, even though like I think we're on episode 4 that's coming out now. But new seasons of Vanderpump Rules. Obviously, it hasn't been what it used to, and just like every TV show, especially reality, it's never going to be. Like, it's never going to be like early seasons were crazy. Like, I mean, they're 40 now. Like, most of them are in their 40s now or very late 30s. So it's like, don't get me wrong, I'm going to pinpoint it that there are some of them that still fucking act like 20s in their 40s. But no, it's a good season so far. Like, it's funny that like it's a year after the whole Scandival thing happened, and Tom is still just a narcissist that just like, he's insane. Tom Sandoval is insane, truthfully. Like, he's amazing for reality TV. Absolutely amazing for reality TV. But in a general sense, in real life, he's just insane. He still has yet, like, there was a scene where James Kennedy went to his house on his birthday and was like, I just want this dude to apologize. That's all I want. I just want Tom to apologize to me. That's all I've been wanting, yada, yada, yada. And Tom just couldn't do it. And Tom was just like, yeah, but what about you? Basically, like, making it so Tom doesn't have to apologize because James kind of did the same thing 10 years prior, even though it's not the same thing, because Tom and Kristen broke up. Kristen wasn't in another relationship. Neither was James. James started hooking up with Kristen. They dated for a little bit. At the time, yeah, it's like, oh, if you're Tom's boy, that's fucked up, whatever. Tom was in a very long relationship with Ariana. Cheated on her with Raquel, who was James's ex-fiance. So yeah, those situations are a little different. I don't think James needs to apologize for something 10 years ago, and I'm sure he already did because they were boys after that anyways. But Tom Sandoval just cannot apologize. He just does not have it in him to apologize. I don't think that he doesn't think he's wrong. I just think that he thinks in a weird way he's justified because of all the shit that happened like 10 years ago, and that other people, it's like, bro, it does not matter that other people have done worse. It doesn't matter if something happened 10 years ago. What you just did is fucked up, and it was on a grand scale. And yes, you're famous, so it's going to get even more dramatized. Like, just apologize, shut the fuck up, and just disappear for a little bit. If he would have done that from the start, so much would have been different. Like, if the cheating scandal happened, he took his shit, came out with a crazy apology, and then just disappeared for like 6 months, and then just came back, I'm sure things would have been different. But he goes on tour with his band. He's going on podcasts. He's doing special forces. Like, all this type of shit that he thinks like, yeah, I'm just putting myself through all this type of shit. Like, bro, that's just horrible. I don't know if Tom Sandoval's publicist just didn't care anymore, or that Tom just refused to listen, or if any of those ideas were, but like, something's got to change. Like, someone's got to knock on that head. Like, yo, like, Tom Sandoval's brain, anybody home? Like, can we do something about this? Because that dude just doesn't get it. But now the new season's good so far. It's not like crazy yet. I feel like it probably will get crazy. Hopefully it does. But no, it's not crazy yet. And it's just funny because every time I have watched Vanderpump, the newest seasons, I'm just like, yeah, wow, like they're kind of acting crazy. Like nothing like they used to, but like they're still acting crazy. And then I'm like, oh, these guys are 40. Like that's crazy. Like if they were all doing this in their 20s, which they did, it's like, okay, whatever, like 10 years now, like they're going to laugh about it, whatever, blah, blah, blah. They're all in their 40s now. Like I'm always an advocate. I will always be an advocate for you can act young as much as you want, have youth in your life, like all this type of shit. Like if you're 50 and you want to fucking go play recreational basketball or you want to fucking try some sport or like you want to go club it, whatever, like do it up. Shout out to you. But the maturity in which he just goes about his life with is insane to me because he's 40 and he's making these types of mistakes and then still not apologizing for them. So that's just crazy to me. And yeah, so I'm curious to see how the rest of the newest season of Vanderpump is going to come out. And something that got revived that I definitely think is going to be their most watched episode in a long time, and I talked about it last episode, is Shane Gillis headlining Saturday Night Live tomorrow. I absolutely think it's going to be their most watched episode in a very long time. They're going to realize, like, damn, we fucked up. And I think the episode's going to be hilarious. They just came out with, like, his promotional video with 21 Savage and Keegan, I forget his last name. But it was super funny. And I just know he's going to kill it. And I'm excited. This is, like, guys who like comedians, this is, like, our Super Bowl for this one. Like, I'm so fucking hyped for it because keep in mind, Saturday Night Live, same company, same network that fired him on his first day on the job. And then they realized, like, wow, like, this dude's huge now. Maybe we should invite him back on. And they're going to see their numbers fucking spike. Not only that, like, he writes his, like, they do their own sketch comedy, like, and I'm sure SNL is going to try to, like, holler at him again, like, yo, like, any chance you want to collab? I'm hoping he says no. And so, yeah, I think that episode is going to be hilarious. Like, 21 was even laughing at him during their promotional video and shit. So, no, Shane Gillis is going to kill Saturday Night Live. And it's going to be the first time, I think, ever I tune in live to Saturday Night Live. That will be the first time ever. So, I'm excited for that one. I think that's going to be super cool. Going back to movies really quick is Zendaya was obviously on her promotional tour and shit like that. And she was doing some video where she was like playing with dogs and then like, or puppies. And then someone was asking her questions and shit like that. And the interviewer asked Zendaya who has the most Riz on the Dune cast. And Zendaya was like, not on the Dune cast, but Mr. Tom Holland has Riz. And this podcast knows I'm a big Tom Holland and Zendaya person. So I was sitting there like, fuck yeah. Like she said, fuck all that. I want to talk about my man. Gangster. That was just cool. I just thought I'd add that because she was in her bag. She was just like, yeah, I don't know about Riz on the Dune cast, but my guy, my man, he's got Riz. He's got that Riz. And she was just hyping Tom up crazy. And I thought it was awesome because I'm also a big Tom Holland guy. So I was here for it. And she was just like, yeah, like my man's the shit. So shout out Zendaya and Tom Holland. And I think it's funny that I saw another tweet about it, that how many red carpets are they going to do for Dune? I feel like every other day I am seeing a new crazy red carpet promoting Dune 2. And I'm here for it because like the outfits are all sick. It's basically like their own little Met Gala and shit. But it seems like every other day there's a red carpet and a moment for Dune 2. And I get promotional shit. I completely get that. But it seems like there's a new premiere every 2 days. And I've never seen that with another movie. Maybe that's just me. but I just never seen that before. And Dune is just, I still need to watch the first one, but they're promoting it like fucking crazy. And supposedly people who saw it said it's definitely going to be up for an Oscar. So, yeah, that's all. Shout out Zendaya. Dune 2. Yeah. I'm trying to think. Speaking of celebrities too, I saw a video of old Harry Styles, like One Direction Harry Styles, where they were somewhere in Rome, and I don't know if it was the Colosseum or somewhere else, and like he just looks over the edge, and it was thousands of fans flooded the streets, and they were just screaming at the top of their lungs when he finally popped up over it. And I don't think celebrities have that crazy star power anymore. I really don't. Like, when they go to Europe, sometimes, yeah, like you'll see obviously like certain mobs of paparazzi, and sometimes people when they're coming out of their hotel or something like that when they're in Europe, but I just don't think it's what it used to be. Like, I'm talking thousands of people mobbed around something, waiting for like you to come out, waiting to get a glimpse of you, like going crazy when they just see you peek your head out the window or something like that. And I just don't think there's that star power anymore. I think like the last people that held that type of star power were like Bieber, like midway through the Kardashians, or maybe like a little after midway, like when Kylie like first launched her lip kit, like that era and shit. But, and One Direction obviously, but I just don't think celebrities have that star power anymore, because everything is so much more accessible, where even at those earlier days, like, yes, social media was a thing, but Instagram had only been out like a year or so. Like, you know, Facebook was Facebook, but just like there wasn't that constant like, oh, I'm basically seeing everything they're doing. Like, the only time anymore that like you don't know what a celebrity's doing is if they don't have social media. Plain and simple. Because like people like you can look through someone's feed and be like, oh, okay, this is what you've been doing. This is your life. Cool. Great. Like, I'm not going to geek over like if I see you in person and shit like that. But it used to be like when you saw someone in person, that's the only time you were ever going to see that person. So it was like, oh my gosh, like crazy. And, or like if you saw them on the news or if there was an award show, shit, like that was the only time you were seeing these people. So yeah, like when you saw them in person, it was like, holy shit, like I'm going to go crazy. Cause like I don't get this usually. Now it's just like, depending on the celebrity, you can get them on Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, regular TV. Insane. Like you can just get them anywhere. So I just don't think the power of celebrity is like that anymore. I may be wrong, but that's just what I think. I still think like people fucking love their celebrities. Like, I mean, shit, I just was talking about how much I love Tom Holland and Zendaya, but I don't think it's like what it used to be, like just mobs of fans coming around and stuff. But I don't think we'll see it again. I really don't. Like, I don't think we're gonna see a level of star power like that again. I think that's over with because we're only gonna have more access to people going forward. So that's just what I think. Speaking of, I'm trying to think. So first off, Shannon Sharp switching to the podcast game was genius because for even sports aside, because it's not like he's just interviewing athletes and shit, like his podcast seems like one of the places to go to get good episodes and for people to spill the fucking tea. Like his Cat Williams episode obviously went crazy. He just recently had an episode with Johnny Manziel. Obviously, if you don't know who Johnny Manziel is, Heisman Trophy winner from Texas A&M, played on the Browns for a little bit, went through a lot of issues. Anywho, for those who do know Johnny Manziel, he had him on the podcast and he was just talking like super candidly about everything. Like Johnny Manziel was just like, yeah, like, you know, within like 3 months, I lost like 40 pounds because I had a crazy coke habit. Like he was saying that I was so depressed that even like LeBron was trying, when he was in Cleveland, LeBron was trying to hit him up all the time. Like, yo, come play poker, come chill, this and that. And like, in his words, he was like, yeah, even my biggest idol couldn't get me out of bed. Like that's crazy. And one thing about Johnny Manziel is for someone who has fucked up, like he didn't wrong anybody. He hasn't like who messed up his own life, let's say, that dude is so mature about it and just like takes it very, very well, where like every time he talks about it, he's always just like, yeah, like, I was a dickhead. I was this. I didn't want that life. I let people down. I feel bad, all this type of shit. And it's just so true that like, all those things are true, but just like he's so self-aware of it that I've definitely think that's like a good thing for coping. But you usually don't see that. Everyone always usually has an excuse for something or isn't willing to like look inward and be like, oh, that's what fucked everything up. But he's super mature about that shit. And he definitely brought up that if Johnny Manziel played during the NIL era, or if NIL existed during Johnny Manziel, he would have made at least $30 million. Easy. He said 10. I easily think Johnny Manziel would have made like $30 million if he was around during NIL, because Money Manziel and like Johnny Manziel was probably one of the bigger college athletes of all time in terms of just media hype and like being really good. Like, you had your Johnny Manziels, obviously you had your Tim Tebow's, obviously, Zion Williamson's 1 year at Duke was crazy. And I'm just trying to think of like other big stars that went through college. Like, your Reggie Bushes, like a lot of, but Johnny Manziel was such a spectacle and like lived his life such a certain way that absolutely, he was just at the time swag. Bro had swag, truthfully, and it was a quarterback. Like the amount he made Texas A&M hundreds of millions of dollars, like from donors, endorsement, all this type of shit. Saw none of that money, obviously. So I definitely think Johnny Manziel would be worth at least like $30 million if he was around during NIL era. And keeping in the sports world, coming from someone who's as big of an NBA fan as me, the NBA All-Star Game sucks. Like, at least the Pro Bowl, like, let people know, like, we're done trying. Like, they were very upfront with it. Like, no, we're literally going to be playing flag football or, like, two-hand touch. Like, we're not giving you guys what you want. And they were very upfront about that. And people were like, oh, okay, whatever, we'll tune in. But we know it's going to be shit. The NBA All-Star Game, like, it just sucks because, like, there needs to be an incentive for them to actually try. Like, you're getting the best players to ever step foot on a basketball court in the world all playing against each other. And just no one fucking tries. Like, don't get me wrong. I know that, the score was like 206. Obviously, there's scoring a lot, but, like, it's not competitive at all. They're all shooting, like, half-court shots and letting people drive. Like, there's no competitiveness. And I get it. It being in the middle of the season, no one's trying to fucking tear an ACL or break any. Like, I completely get that whole point. But there needs to be some incentive, like home court advantage in the finals or, like, money or, like, who knows, but, like, they need to do something with the NBA All-Star Game because it was such a hard watch. And, like, even with, like, the skills competition, like, people aren't giving a fuck about it. Like, the only thing right now to me that's worth watching in the All-Star Game is the three-point contest. Like, even the dunk contest fucking sucked. Like, Jaylen Brown, what is he doing there? What is Jaylen Brown doing at the dunk? Like, Mac McClung, shout out to him, but, like, a G League player winning the dunk contest 2 years in a row when there are people like Ja Morant and Donovan Mitchell in the game is absurd to me. Like, I don't know, like, where it went. Like, don't get me wrong, Aaron Gordon versus Zach LaVine was probably the best dunk contest of all time. And, like, luckily that was not too long ago. But I don't know what they need to do with the NBA All-Star Game, but it's just not it. Coming from a basketball fan, like, I used to buy NBA All-Star jerseys. Like, that was like a holiday for me. Like, All-Star weekend, let's go. I'm pacing in front of the TV. Now I'm just like, oh, it's on. I got nothing else to watch. I'll watch it for like 10 minutes. Who cares? But something about the NBA All-Star Game just isn't it for me anymore. So they need to, Adam Silver, and, like, they need to figure out what is up with the NBA All-Star Game. And another thing that's up, that she has one of the most interesting career paths, I think, in general, is Bridget Mendler. And if you don't know Bridget Mendler, she's from Good Luck Charlie, Lemonade Mouth, Disney actress. And she was a Disney actress, obviously, and a TV show and in Disney movies and shit. And then after her Disney career, she said, okay, I'm just going to go to Harvard. She went to Harvard, graduated. And it just came out like 4 days ago that she's now the CEO of a space satellite company that's going to be like putting satellites all over the world to help space with communication with God. No, I don't know, out of my league of intelligence. But what? Like, you go from being good luck Charlie to Harvard to the CEO of a space company. Like, that's crazy. Like, people's ability to do shit like that is so crazy to me. Like, it's truthfully like they are playing the game of life and they're just on different quests. They're different. Like, oh, I'm just going to go to, oh, I was just, a really big actress on Disney Channel. Oh, I'm just going to go to Harvard now. Oh, I'm just going to become a CEO of a space company. Like, that's crazy to me. Like, shout out Bridget Mendler. Like, she's literally just killing life. Like, clearly. And I know other people done it before, where I know the Sprouse twins both went to NYU after Sweet Life was done. And obviously at least Cole still acts now, like with Riverdale, and he's doing other shit. But there has been people that go to college and shit, but just like to go from Disney to Harvard to the CEO of a space company. It's just insane to me. That's my rant with Bridget Mendler's genius brain. That's all. But no, I just want to be able to have that genius brain too, honestly. But no, like, I kind of was like looking over my points, and I'm just happy to finally be back in good health at the moment. And I've been taking my multivitamins, been doing good and shit. And I know I say it all the time. I think I've said it every single episode, other than the episodes that we finally do have guests. We're going to get more guests. I'm thinking that I love doing this one-on-one, aka me looking at a camera. But I do want to co-host at some point. It's just tough because all the co-hosts that I would personally want are my friends from back home in New York. And what am I going to do? Be like, yo, move out to Los Angeles and be my co-host on a podcast that doesn't make money. Like, obviously I can't do that yet. It's why I would love to build this podcast up so it does make money so I can do that. But not like a co-host. Like, again, I could sit here and talk all the time, but just like just bullshitting around with someone is super fun. So we will get more, even if it's just like random, like fun people in the office or whatever, we will get more people in here. I promise that. It's going to be more fun. I'm trying to actually, like, I was talking to Emma about it, where like I'm trying to actually make it a little more professional, where like I'm so grateful to be able to have this studio and shoot it here. But I'm like, okay, that's one piece of the puzzle. The shooting it and the look of it is very professional. Now, on the back end of it, from the logo, I would love an intro video, shit like that I just don't know how to do. I'm trying to like source out. I just don't know where. So in due time, I know we're 30 episodes in, but I plan on doing this for a long time. So just bear with me. It's going to be fun. We're going to be doing fun shit. I promise. We're going to have fun people. Ideally, I would love to turn this into a podcast vlog situation where it's like, it's either like a weekly vlog that leads up into the podcast and there's like hints of everything, and then we're with the person who we're interviewing, or a podcast and vlog all in like, not all in one, but just like the aftermath of the podcast, like a separate video type of thing. That'd be my ideal world, and I'm going to make it happen. 2024 is the year. I got faith. But for whoever does watch these, you obviously know I appreciate the shit out of you. They're going to get cooler. I'm a 24-year-old who is doing everything himself on top of having a very busy full-time job. It's going to get better, I promise. I promise you that. So shout out to whoever does watch, and we got a lot of fun to come. But until next time, peace.